You should care deeply about the people who rely on your products and put them first in absolutely everything you do. Engage with them every chance you get. Never change that.
Oh, hi, Ellen. How are you?
Doing great, Evan. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be talking to you. I'm always happy when I'm talking to you. One of my favorite marketers to talk to. Did you know that?
Oh, heck yeah. Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm looking forward to this. I think you're, like I said, one of the smartest people that I've ever had the privilege of working with in the marketing space. And I'm really happy to, be able to sit down and talk with you about what you're thinking about, what marketing's been up to, and what the space looks like, and what PFU is doing, and all sorts of stuff. So I just want to start by giving you a sec. I want to know more about you. So you specialize in product marketing. I think that's probably your area of expertise. Can you give us maybe just a quick synopsis of how you came to that and what some maybe like defining moments of your career have been in that space?
Yeah, sure. My first marketing job actually was in product marketing. So I didn't really know anything else. And I dove right in. My work was largely in localization and a lot of technical writing. Over time, that evolved into like messaging and positioning and all the fun stuff. And I just fell in love with all of it. Highlights. Well, this may be a funny one, but the pandemic was actually a highlight. I was working in B2C LCD monitors then, and it was a Friday that we all got sent home, and I realized the rest of the world was getting sent home too. So, terrible time to be a human, thrilling time to be a product marketer. I knew every one of my audience's pain points like that. So that following Monday, when we were remote and I launched Make Yourself at Home campaign, was basically an ICP exercise. We just went down and I matched persona to product and we crushed. It was incredible. Another highlight was writing about color accuracy and seeing my byline on the Adobe blog. I'm a writer at heart. And that felt really big to me. And then joining the team I'm on now, of course. We're doing really, really exciting things. I am constantly challenged in new ways, always growing. I work with really smart, talented people. And I think it's making me a better marketer.
I bet. Jeezy, crazy. Very cool. I mean, PFU is super interesting. I'd have to imagine it would be because it sits sort of at this intersection of hardware, you've got a software element, and I think probably more than maybe most other consumer electronic companies, you're not even just consumer, but like, business applications, right? How these tools all come together and are used in practice. Does that come with like unique challenges? What's different about marketing that sort of, fully integrated setup versus, LCD monitors alone, for example?
Yeah, great question. I think there are like a lot of sort of unique challenges and opportunities. So for me, whatever you're working in, like marketing comes down to attention. So that is always like the capital C challenge. Where do we put our energy? What tactics will earn attention? Where will we get trust? And that to me is where we get revenue. AI adds complexity now, right? When, where, and how much do you use it? How do you measure your results? On the opportunity side, PFU is the global leader in document scanners and digitization. So it's the perfect time to offer solutions that automate processes. And I'm talking anything from onboarding to archiving, and then giving companies the power to mine that data from those archives so they can train their AI models. We are moving data from banker boxes to the boardroom, and it's a good time to be us.
Nice. Very cool. So you start talking a little bit about AI, and I mean, it is the thing right now for everyone, obviously. I don't need to tell you that. What are you guys doing with it? Like, how is it fitting into not just, I imagine, product development, but like, the whole integrated suite, as I was talking about, right? Where does AI fit into your product offering, but also your practices and your processes as a marketer?
So, our product direction is really exciting right now. We're focused very much on the quality of your training data, right? The whole garbage in, garbage out argument. We recognize that the quality of that training data directly determines the quality of your AI output. So beyond our own internal AI initiatives, we're really focused on helping customers succeed in theirs, digitizing, organizing that data, powering their models. For us, AI isn't just about what we can do, it's about what we can help our customers do. PaperStream is our software suite, and PaperStream AI is launching in 2026. We definitely involve AI in our technology. We definitely involve AI in our stack. We're definitely working across a lot of initiatives internally. And I think a lot of those look similar to a lot of other companies' initiatives right now. What is an AI initiative really? What do you want to get out of it? Typically, we're talking about these huge gains in productivity and efficiency and all of these buzzwords, but what does that actually look like? Where are you integrating it in your workflow? And for us, like by integrating AI into that digitization process, you're just speeding up, gaining efficiency, gaining accuracy, and getting better output.
What about you as a marketer, right? As a product marketer? How do you use it every day in what you do?
I tend to use AI very much for like process and interrogation. I'm not a fan of using AI for creative. I feel like anytime when do you introduce AI? For me, it is at the point where I'm willing for my output to be derivative, right? And
Mm.
at that point, I am pulling on the pool of tons of other people who do what I do and getting their insights and their wisdom and making a derivative product that will, I hope, be very helpful. That's fine in some circumstances, but I think like your key messaging, your key positioning, where you connect with your audience, that's a human connection. And I think all of the slop that we see kind of everywhere is a direct result of that. It's like, oh, I have AI, I have a tool. What can I do with it? And for a lot of people, it's like, well, what is the thing that I want to focus on? And that's where they direct the AI. Whereas for me, it's like, I treat AI more like my intern. What is the task that I absolutely hate? What is the nuisance that takes me away from thinking? What is the pain in the ass that I just don't want to deal with? And that's what I'm going to find a way to offload to AI.
Yeah. So what I hear there is the repetitive stuff, right? The time, the click labor, the stuff
Yes.
that's just menial,
Yeah.
right?
And sometimes the stuff that I fully don't know, like sometimes if I'm starting a new process and I have, a plan or a vision, I will put that, through an LLM to interrogate it and say, hey, here are opportunities for you to improve that process. Here are things you
Nice.
skipped. Uh, so I do like that. Yeah.
We surveyed a bunch of B2B buyers. So people who are, signing contracts for, 40, $50,000 engagements, tools. Um, Found that, from the product standpoint, right, it's interesting. In the discovery phase, there's almost this pocket where the 70% of the buyers we learned from or heard from said that they actually perverted, cut that, Cam, preferred self-guided. I'm gonna try that again. So I like what you said about the human element of product marketing and how that it is a decidedly human connection, right? More so than maybe other types of marketing. Product requires empathy. Interestingly enough, 70% of B2B buyers we surveyed said that they actually prefer self-guided product discovery before reaching out to a sales member or sales team representative, right? Um,
Mhm.
do you think that that is, why do you think that is, maybe first and foremost? And then, how do you see the humanity, the human element fitting into that? And, and what is maybe the role or the handoff that product can play before someone talks to a sales rep?
I think it's great that people are doing self-guided discovery. And I think the reason they are is because they can, right? They have the landscape, they have access to the tools, the resources and everything. So I love that. I think the best way to handle that is to treat these consumers with respect, to trust that they are informed and that they will reach out when they're ready to make a call or when they have a question. So be where they are and don't don't check boxes. Provide content that is real and meaningful and truly helpful. I am a B2B product marketer or marketer. I'm also a consumer. So I think it's really important that when you are working in this space, you remember that you too are a consumer. You think about what your journeys are like, and you make sure that you respect your customer at every touch point along the way.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, there is this I mean, inarguably, all you have to be is just, a little attentive in the landscape right now to see that there's a lot of suspicion, wariness, even so far as contempt for AI generated content, right? That vernacular of AI slop is, ascendant. There's a bunch of different reasons people might have for that, right? Some say it's accuracy, authenticity, trust, right? Where does the balance need to be struck? What are like actual, I mean, you do this every day, right? And you mentioned, making sure that your core messaging is something that is, handled, by a human, right? And the AI efficiencies are for the pain points. You kind of already answered this, so maybe I don't need to ask this question, is what I'm talking my way to, unless you have a different angle on it.
Oh, but I think it
Yeah.
is really good. And I think it's an important question because, like, are you wary
Am I wary of
of AI?
AI?
Do you have concerns? Do you every now and then before you engage, do you have that like that mental pause? Because I know I do.
I think it changes. I've used this word I have a background in game design, like oddly enough, and
Uh-huh.
I mentioned this too, but like I think it changes the meta.
Yeah.
The word the meta is sort of like a term of art where it's just all about the relationships of the various options you have available to you. And I know we've talked about that before. How do you see that changing?
Yeah. I empathize with the customers. I understand their anxiety. I understand their concern. I started playing with AI years ago and was terrified then. And it's taken, years for me to build trust and confidence and for the resources to evolve. So I don't try to diminish or dismiss that. I think it's really important now to listen to your customers. And I keep coming back to it to foster a landscape of trust. We talk about what product or resource or service we are selling, but the truth is we're not really selling anything. We're trying to earn trust. Emphasis on earn, do it right. And I think that's part of the distrust comes from all of the AI slop that is out there. I look at that and I consider it a digital insult. Just don't do that. Look for your efficiency gains in process, not in your creative, kind of like we talked about early. Foster that real relationship, put a human behind it, engage genuinely and authentically. And I think then your consumers don't have to navigate that anxiety because they're not having an AI experience. They're having an experience that's been improved because AI is part of it.
I found something you said especially interesting. Would you say that like there's more opportunity now to do damage to your brand as a marketer
Yes.
thanks to AI than there was before? And why?
Wow. I haven't even considered that. And that is an outstanding point. Absolutely. If you are lazy, you will make mistakes. And if you make mistakes, they will show. And if they show, your consumers will not trust you. I think it's on a certain level, just that simple. Don't let AI make you lazy.
For sure. What are some of the ways that you have felt insulted by AI or the use of AI as a consumer? Because you say, right, you're a consumer as well as a marketer, right? What has landed that way to you?
Anything that is sloppy, right? Anything when the text is wrong, the messaging is wrong, when there are four thumbs, that kind of nonsense. But I think a lot of times for me, and again, this may be something that it is likely something I am hypersensitive to because of the space that I work in. Some content reads and looks lazy. It's not there to help me. And if I go to a website or, whatever, I get online, it is because I want something, some result, some information to commit some act, whatever. Don't waste my time and don't waste other consumers' time. And I think increasingly we see stuff that is kind of like that. I think also kind of these kind of cutesy jabs or attempts at AI at sort of like using the way sloppy use cases, maybe is what I'm trying to get at. When we talk about, like I said, like I really do feel like this tool is best served in process. And I think when we use it in places where humans should outperform it, it shows.
I think probably one dynamic you've probably seen and understand better than most, even before, AI arrived on the scene, was just the growing value that buyers of any, persuasion place on peer reviews, community voices, the, thoughts, opinions, beliefs of not just the people close to them, but people like them, right? Their peers.
Exactly.
Has that continued to be the case for you? Is that, is that been changed recently? How can a product marketer adapt to that reality as it is evolving?
I think it's really important. Yes, peer reviews are, and again, you use the word yourself. It comes back to trust, and trust to me comes back to listening. When I research a purchase, I check reviews. You probably do too. We all want an ally, a trusted community to help us make good decisions. And that is what reviews to me represent, right? It is a pool of trust. So yeah, we absolutely do lean into them. They help our customers. They help us get feedback to improve our products. And from a marketing standpoint, they're gold, right? Money can't buy that kind of credibility. Who are you going to trust more to buy one of my products, me or one of my customers?
Makes sense for sure. I mean, in that light, we like to try and keep things actionable for folks. What is one thing that you think B2B marketers need to stop doing right now? Like we like to do a stop, start, continue. What's something that they got to stop doing ASAP?
We talked about this already, but yes, stop being lazy. Stop offloading your brain to it and start offloading your tasks to it. Stop treating it like that blanket. If you are framing your engagement with AI in, I input this prompt and I got this output, that's what you need to stop doing it. Frame it in terms of a session, right? Do your input, get your output, and then iterate every time.
What's something that modern product marketing teams need to start doing better to make sure that they're giving buyers what they need to make informed decisions?
I don't want to get them in trouble, but I think they should be going nuts right now. I think they should be experimenting with absolutely everything, right? AI arrived on the scene for all of us at about the same time. We're all finding our way around it. Take advantage, be bold, take risks, make chaos your ladder, right? This is a thrilling time to me to be in marketing because the potential is we are really and truly, we are only as limited as our creativity right now. So if you are doing the same old thing and doing the same old tactics, you are absolutely falling behind.
You and I are both marketers. We've been doing this for a while. Specifically, I think you said you're a writer by trade. I would say the same for myself. It has been my experience that writers and programmers were probably two of the professions to be rightfully the most spooked by the arrival of AI, right? Anything new and novel is going to be threatening, right? Anything that's, unfamiliar, you're naive if you think that people aren't going to feel that way, right? Was there any sort of turning point or moment or frame through which you were able to look at AI that had a meaningful impact on your ability to, see it for its potential, for its advantages, right? You're obviously, you're thinking about it critically and for its potential value. Was that always the case? Well, I know for me, it took me a while to start, actually thinking about this dispassionately and for what it could do. Was there a moment like that for you where you were able to, make that shift?
I'd say it was like December of 2022. So like early days when I started playing with ChatGPT. And when I first started playing with it, I did this daily exercise when I asked it to talk to me about color. I put the same prompt in every day. My prompting wasn't really evolved yet. It was pretty simplistic. And I watched it learn, right? I watched it evolve and I watched these generated responses get better. So kind of from the beginning, whether right or wrongly, um, I've been thrilled by it. Yes, AI will change like the employment landscape, right? Some jobs absolutely will have been automated. Some jobs have shifted wildly, and new roles are coming into play. Seeing something that could play with my ideas and give me something new to think about was thrilling from the start. I didn't love the outputs, and I think that's it. Like maybe it's arrogance, right? Maybe as a writer, I'm like, oh, I've got that. But I didn't really go through a fear thing as much as maybe a curiosity, and just watching the way these tools and resources evolve, watching the way my day has changed and in some ways gotten much more efficient, much more productive. Yeah, so far it's been a pretty peaceful friendship between me and AI.
So if it stays that way, I always say
Yes,
please and thank you
yes.
to
Well, I mean, and
ChatGPT.
I mean, until it becomes sentient and rids the world of me, but that's a whole other conversation,
We
right?
got time. We got time. I think you're
Yeah.
probably in good books already. Amidst all this change, right? What's not changing? What's something that marketers should just, you know, don't get spooked. Keep doing it. It's not going to be, any different going ahead.
I think it's really important to still go low tech sometimes. I think the two words that I've probably said the most over the course of this conversation are trust and care. I mean, that's probably not a mistake, right? Still, you should care deeply, first, last, and in between about the people who rely on your products. Put them first in absolutely everything you do. Never change that. Engage with them every chance you get. Never change that. Really and truly, the lowest tech step that most marketers skip is the dreaded phone call. But I love them because if you have a conversation, like not an interview, but an actual conversation with somebody who uses your product, that is where the gold lies. And you learn the things about them as people that you can fold into your messaging, into your positioning, into your products, into everything about your offering that helps your customers feel seen, valued, appreciated, and improved by what you are offering. Yeah, it's the anti-slop.
Get out the door, right? Get out of the building. Isn't that what the saying is, right? You got to go out and actually see the people and, talk to them. Right? Cool.
Yes, yeah.
So,
And they want to hear from you. That's another thing is I think a lot of times as marketers, we're afraid to talk to our customers, but they're thrilled to tell you about themselves and their experiences and where you can make your product better. Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I'm counting on it personally with the, what we're doing here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Looking ahead, right? Next 2 or 3 years, it feels like it could be a, super long time. A lot can happen in that amount of time, at least at the rate we're going. What do you think the biggest changes are going to be for how marketing teams operate?
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I think it's going to be a lot. I'm not sure exactly what and what it looks like. I feel like we'll probably like swing back and forth a lot on like which roles are obsolete, which ones evolve and which new ones come out. I do think it is going to be very messy. Perfect example of that. I'm talking to you about product marketing, and as part of like an internal shakeup, I am now on the brand side in my organization. So I think these changes are going to keep coming. I think product and marketing teams are going to operate really differently though going forward. Like we talked about, competitive research is already transformed. A nod to Splendid Engines, ICP too, right? So I think product marketers are going to sit at that intersection of product and marketing, product and market, like explaining product to market and market to product with more potential than ever. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm definitely here for it.
Thank you so much, Jan. I always enjoy talking to you. I appreciate you taking the time and sharing your wisdom with us. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much. We'll let you go and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much for having me, Evan.
All right. Bye.